Welcome back to 4PO, better known as the 4 Players Only. I'm your host, Destro. I'm with my boy, my brother, starting with
your boy, Yanko.
Got in the building, man.
Alright, we're opening up 2024 right with the hottest thing on the internet right now, Katt Williams.
Boy, you done got me canceled how many times in this program? Where's the camera? I didn't write nothing I said tonight. It's all been on these cue cards, and I'm just gonna keep reading them. Ask your next question.
Alright, let's get started. Alright, so before we jump into the reaction to the Shannon Sharp Club, Shay, whatever. I was not originally gonna react to this video. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just going on TikTok, Instagram, whatnot. I'm like, I'm seeing Katt Williams everywhere. He just cooking. Everywhere. And I'm like, alright, bro. So I like podcasts. I like Club Shay. I like Katt Williams, one of my top 5 comedians all time. Let me check it out. And when I tell you that was like 3 hours of just.
Is he your number 5?
We'll get to that later. It was like 3 hours of just content, bro. Just like heat, just like little hidden gems and whatnot. So I'm like, bro, shoot, whatever, bro. Let's just go ahead and check it out. So we're not obviously gonna react to the whole thing because
that was 3 hours.
I don't got 3 hours. I don't know about them, but I ain't got that. So we're just gonna react to some of the clips I thought was really important.
You brought that on over to here, and that's why it resonates. And the reason I had to come is because you made a safe place for the truth to be told. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate
and
that.
I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here lying to you about it.
First way takeaway, what I started with looking at like just Shannon. When we start getting hopefully bigger and we potentially interview more people and stuff, I want to like do what Shannon did, master what he did, because I want people to feel comfortable where they feel like they can open up. Because something that was going around the internet is that I know there was one big tweet, but like everybody was like adding on to it. Sometimes it was like Shannon left so much on the table. Why didn't he hit him these questions? He was a terrible journalist. And Shannon addressed this himself in his nightcap show with Osho, but he's like, I'm not a journalist, one. And two, if you know Katt Williams does not do interviews. This is another reason why this blew up so big. He does not do interviews with anybody. If you were a journalist, first of all, he wouldn't have showed up. And two, if he did show up, you're not getting these controversial takes, this comfortability that Shannon got. And all the people who's hating on Shannon's work, hey, 22 million views says otherwise right now.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points.
3 quick.
You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
He shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one.
I can see what he meant. Like, it's a safe space that Shannon has made for like people to just like speak their truth, and it sounded like that dude was just spitting lies based on what Katt said.
I mean, I like that Uncle. I'm about to call him Uncle Shay, but you know, Shannon Sharp. You know, podcast.
Everybody know who
Uncle is. Yeah, I'm about to say his full name, but you know, people come on there and like talk their truth, which I think is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, able to speak your piece, but like at the same time, like, just because you're able to do that don't mean you need to like stretch truth or tell lies.
I feel like you should have.
You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, just try to keep 100. I know you want to get your like truth out or whatever, how you feel out, but you know what I'm saying?
I would just say like they shouldn't use his platform to try and like start shit with other people. Like he wants this to just be a space where you can tell the truth, but don't just go like, oh yeah, this person do like just say some outrageous shit just to like make yourself more popular.
Right.
But why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke?
Yeah.
He said, it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Cedric sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes. That's why he's called the Entertainer.
Right.
We found out he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Not available on Netflix or Tubi.
Alright, so that's the end of the second clip, bro. Let me, first off, so some things I was noticing about Shannon. It was 3 moments that I watched the entire interview that I want to say, I ain't gonna say he was uncomfortable, but I saw a little bit of uncomfortability in like just his body language and stuff. And when it was one when he was calling out, he was like, "Katt, you don't need no more of that." And he was like, "Shannon, I've drunk less than you." And like he was like, "Oh shoot."
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie.
Like, no, this man is not intoxicated. No, he was for real. The other one, we're probably gonna see later when he was talking about the Jonathan Majors case and the white women, and you know Shannon loves his white women, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then the third one, I can't remember what the third one was. Whatever, it come to my head later, or we're gonna see it later on. The other thing is, when he's calling out Cedric and Steve Harvey, the funny thing is the internet keeps receipts.
Yeah.
And if you've seen on TikTok, I might put up some clips of the receipts that are still in jokes.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Bro, the receipts been popping up hey. And that's why people are starting to believe everything Katt said. Yo, he's telling the truth, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was. The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. And it's a man unit.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. We didn't know what we were. I don't know what we are. I don't know. She didn't tell us. I think we UPS, I guess. I don't know.
You've heard me say that every Halloween I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box. I wasn't nothing sad. I asked my father, could I have a new outfit? And he said, no, just wear the same one. And it was just a brown box. And he just told me to tell everybody I was a UPS man.
He ain't got nothing to lie.
I saw the Steve one where like he stole somebody's joke about the whole UPS box thing.
Word for word.
Yeah, I saw that.
But like, I was talking to my girl about it. I was like, with jokes, it's kind of. I'm saying like if you're a comedian, you can come up with jokes, but like when you think about it, stuff like people steal stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's what somebody was.
Well, it's just.
I forgot. I saw something.
Let me hold on. Let me get into that point because I was sitting here thinking. And I'm a big comedian. I love comedians. I watch a lot of stand-up and whatnot. And I was trying to remember why it was such a bad thing. Because, yes, people steal everything. The issue is Katt. I think I got a clip of it. He might get into it later on. But the problem with you stealing jokes is like you're stealing basically like that dude's livelihood type job. Because what Katt was saying is when you tell a joke, that's not your first time telling that joke. Mm-hmm. You've told that joke one time in Seattle to a Seattle audience. That's a whole different crowd. Then you might go on tour. If you go on tour, you might tell that joke in Texas. But now you adjusted the joke. You got it a little bit like you got the punchline. You're trying to perfect
basically
it.
What you're saying like.
And they did so much perfection before it even gets to
King of Comedy.
Or a King of Comedy, or like even these shows, these premieres that be on Netflix or something. So for you to see me work on my craft, and you're supposed to be my brotherhood of comedy, and you steal my jokes, that is like a death sentence in comedy.
If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview.
Oh, man, come on.
Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people.
So I didn't really get this clip for any specific reason other than I have never seen Shannon like just speechless and like when you remember when I say I'm reading body language and like how you would feel uncomfortable. I've never seen Shannon. Shannon's always upright. He's talking. He's having a nice conversation. He's really taken aback. Like, oh shoot, bro, I might be in for it in this episode.
Maybe in over his head.
Yeah.
I'm taking them at face value.
This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history.
Because I've always wondered, why is Steve Harvey seen as this love guru when he's had 2 failed marriages and rumors is that his wife's cheating on him again? That's none of my business. But like, how did he become the love guru in time and like all these women are, hey, let's think like a man and stuff?
I don't really know like all of Steve's like relationships, but I guess it just could be trials and tribulations through relationships where he's like, you know how men be like, I could have been better in this area, or like I see the clues afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like basically how you just go through it and fire.
So he's telling, these are the mistakes I've made. So I know.
Basically like that. And most women, now I'm saying most women think alike. You know how most men think alike. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I feel like it's almost kind of like that. I won't say it is. But.
See, I would take that at face value. Like, okay, yes, you can learn from other people's mistakes, but at the same time, I'm taking that as, why am I listening to somebody who's failed?
Yeah,
I feel like
it would be better if I failed than learn from my own mistakes.
Because it's not that you failed. It's that I now know what not to do. But if I'm coming to find out what to do, and you're telling me what to do, you have not proven that you know what to do yet.
Until you've had a successful.
Yes.
So how do you feel about learning from your parents then?
Well, my parents, they're my life example.
But like, what if? No, I'm saying like you may ask them a scenario about something, and they've done it wrong, and they're like giving you that same.
But that still goes on. I now know what not to do, but you still have not told me what to do, you might not know what to do. But
I think
I don't want to be. I don't want to, just because you told me another thing that was the opposite of what you did. I don't want to now give you step by step like, oh, you're the guru. Now everything you say.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to pose that question. That's because it's what came in my head. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as like,
I got you.
At the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
All right, so thoughts?
Damn.
he's basically trying to say Kevin Hart is a plant. And so we were obviously young when Kevin Hart was coming up. Because when I first like really known Kevin Hart was that stand up where he's talking about his dad and he's like, all right.
Yeah,
That's the first stand up I seen.
Yeah, I think that is, but
even before then, I knew him a little bit from a Scary Movie. When he was like, when he was the little comedy spoof about scary movies.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that was it. But like I said, the thing about internet, they bring up receipts, and it's like when you start thinking about it, how did Kevin Hart blow up automatically in Los Angeles? Like you might have got lucky, I don't know, but
he wasn't in a lot of movies though, but just not big roles.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think his first role was in. I think Destro was right. I think his first role was in like Scary Movie.
No, they're saying his first role was like, yo, you got the star in Soul Plane, and it's like with all these mega stars, and we don't even know who you are, yo. And it'd be different if you came up in California on the West Coast, but we all know Kevin Hart is from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Your fan base, and this is before the internet age. Information don't go around like that. So how do we know? They're not saying he is a plant, but
you're like saying, okay, they're starting to like connect.
You start connecting dots, and you like, hold on, this. You start thinking, but I don't know. And not to say, because like he also says he don't think really Kevin Hart is that funny. He ain't say that, but
I think he did.
He did.
I think he did. I think he only said that people were funny was really like the people before him, like the Richard Pryors. And all
right.
that.
So I don't think Kevin Hart is not funny because I remember certain jokes, but I never thought like Kevin Hart was like so funny that he deserves the stuff that he's given, like all these roles and stuff.
I don't know. Like comedian, like I guess and probably just never understood the jokes. That just could be me. But like I just never really cared for comedy, like just comedy stand-up shows. Like, oh, I'm fun to watch a stand-up. Like, nah.
I love comedy because in my eyes they're like today's philosophers in a way. Because obviously they're not philosophers. You're not going to study them, but they tell the truth, or they cross boundaries, or they say things. They make you think
about it.
And I think, like, obviously Kevin Hart's a comedian. Like, I'm laughing at, like, yo, he makes me laugh. But the best comedians, like a Dave Chappelle, Katt Williams, they make me sit back and think. Like, I might not be laughing, but I'm sitting here like, dang,
trying to understand the joke.
Damn, that shit crazy. That's deep.
Told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig.
All this money y'all spent on them motherfucking tickets. And talked about a lady in the audience for 15 goddamn minutes. That nigga should have talked about me the way I've been to talk about his bitch man. I'm the wrong nigga to fucking win my tour championship, my nigga. You did. You did. Yeah. You see that nigga had to take off that lace front high top fade before he came out here to battle me, goddamn. I plays no motherfucking game, Steve. Yeah. I'm a little nigga. I fight dirty. You did. You did, baby. What the fuck is he thinking about? He trying to copy off me and bring that ugly ass, sparkly ass tie out with a regular black suit like he was going to a funeral. Yours, nigga, yours.
And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you?
So
Did
I
you
remember
talk about Bernie in this?
Yeah, he did. Later on. So I remember you saying you shouldn't come on Shannon's thing to like bring up beef or like start beef, but it doesn't sound like it just started from this Shay. This is like decades of like built up, and he more is mad at, like, obviously he doesn't seem like he likes Steve, but he also sticking up for Bernie, who's not RP Bernie Mac, but he's sticking up for Bernie because Steve didn't like Bernie, and he's over here blaming Bernie for. he's claiming Steve is kind of blaming Bernie for the reason the Kings of Comedy stopped or something like that. And apparently there's a lot of underground hatred or something that was in the comic scene. And I think Katt is just like, no, I'm about to expose this junk.
And is King of Comedy, is it always in Detroit or does it bounce around?
I think it bounced around. I think it's tours.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I've never seen Steve act, and I always thought about that. Like, Steve is one of the biggest people on the planet, and I've never seen him in the movies, but...
I think about some shows.
He's not in movies that he don't play himself. Let me put it like that.
I think I'm thinking about somebody else.
He wasn't on a TV show or anything, or a sitcom?
He probably would, but I mean,
I don't
like
think
an old school sitcom type, or a principal or something.
Well, they were saying he stole Curry. No.
Your parents were Jehovah's Witness. You were a prodigy. You were brilliant. You talked to me that you got accepted to college at 7 years of age. You could read fluently at 3 years of age. So having that kind of knowledge, having that kind of prodigy, what was your upbringing? How was it? How was life as Katt Williams Crunk coming up?
I was often confused because I knew things and I wasn't sure how I knew them. I knew things that I felt like I don't have a reason that I know this, but I love to read. I was voracious because they told me when I was young that knowledge was powerful. That knowledge was power, and I had studied powerful people, and I really believe that.
So the reason I brought up that clip is because, like I said, I'm paying attention to like people's body language and stuff, and the whole interview, Katt was really thoughtful with his responses. Like, it wasn't like he was just like first thing that popped in his head, and you saw hold on, I'm about to start. Let me take a sip. And like, he's really thinking about what he want to say before he says it, even if it's something controversial. He's really thinking it. But when he was bringing up his family, he really was hesitating at times because it might be a touchy subject, which I didn't know a lot of stuff. Like, Katt Williams might be one of my favorite comedians of all time, but it was stuff I didn't even know. Like, I didn't know he ran away from home at 13.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know he was Jehovah's Witness. I didn't know he had
Ohio to Florida, I think.
Yeah,
it was something crazy. Like, that's crazy though. Like, from north to south.
Yeah, from Ohio to Florida
to be like,
at 13.
To be like, yeah, I can do it.
We struggling to move up the straight at 20.
Only 5 or 6 different types of people, and you gonna see them everywhere that you go. And all my enemies all look the same in the eyes, whether it's Faison, Wanda, Aries Spears, they all look like...
Man, what you got against Wanda Sykes? You think I don't remember that?
Sir, Wanda Sykes and Wanda Smith are 2 separate people.
I mean, Wanda Smith.
And I had only said one name, sir.
Wanda Sykes.
I'm cursed.
Is amazing. I love Wanda.
And I agree.
I love Wanda. That's my girl. But I remember on the radio, you went on a radio interview. If I'm not mistaken, that's in Atlanta.
Right.
And you came on there with seemingly good intentions. And she attacked you.
It wasn't just that part. It was the fact that before I go in there, she has a conversation about, okay, now, I just want to talk to you because you just wanted Emmy for the city of Atlanta, and this is in Atlanta, and they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did putting the city on.
Right. Okay.
And we won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail, no cases. We ain't going to talk about none of that.
Right.
And immediately gets in there and goes the opposite way. You can't flip up on me because you're an inferior comedian. I'm going to destroy you, and I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful to people that look like you. It's a very thin line. I got a call, but this lady is trying to embarrass me in front of a largely homosexual fan base. That's why she got canceled. Gay people don't take it kindly that you would, as a derogatory, call me gay. Gay people don't feel like it's derogatory. So why are you trying to shame me with something in a community I don't even belong in? Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
I see why people come to Wanda's show.
Yeah.
Because Frank Ski puts it down.
That's right. Get on out of here with your crazy ass.
Is he crazy?
And help me get to the salon. All right, it's the People Station Viewer 3. Your hair is kind of...
That joint was.
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't.
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural.
Come run one of your gnarled
Well,
fingers.
come here. Come here.
While you on air,
Come
so
on.
they can hear you live.
Come on. Let me come over here.
No. That's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then stay over there.
Don't worry, ain't nobody putting their hands through yours.
That's right. They don't have to. I don't want them to. Get on out of here. You okay? You okay? Are you all right?
Only one of our
You all
hands
right?
moving while we talk.
Are you all right this morning? Are you okay this
Greg
morning?
Grant, Atlanta comedy.
Tell Wanda to take off them headphones and that wig.
And make sure.
That wig and that headphones
and
come
take off
together.
them old ass clothes you got on.
That's the clip where like she like said you've been to convicted or no been to prison. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think
He's like, don't worry about me and all my fellas.
I
I ain't
think-
got no conviction.
I think her man
Prison
came
to
up
jail,
with
not
like
the same.
prison to jail is not the same.
Yeah, I think her man did try to come
Like try to
attack.
like yo over a joke, and it's like yo I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And your woman came at me first, and she wants to play with the big boys. That's what you're trying to say. You trying to play in the big leagues.
Yeah. She had nothing else to say after a while.
Right. I was shook. But I think what also make it worse, you know when you getting clowned and like say if y'all was like if I was getting clowned and y'all was laughing with them, it's like that just make it so much worse. It make you my boys laughing at me. Oh,
I know you ain't laughing.
I'm pissed.
You talking about some chill? Yeah. That shit wasn't even that funny for real.
All right, but let's get into the next part. Shannon was talking about
Well, how hard? Because you have to understand, she is a female, and so you have to be careful. You have to handle her with kid gloves.
Sir. You want to go ahead and take that out? You don't want to be against equality, do you?
No.
What you just said was very unequal, sir.
Bruh, but
I think maybe you've had enough of this. Because I think I just heard you say
But
that women are not equal and should be treated unequally.
They want to be treated.
You mean
equal.
as a comedian?
No. They want. Listen, you understand, and I understand.
Yeah.
In certain situations, they want to be treated equal. Not all situations.
And what part of what you saw her get?
Oh, she deserved everything you gave her.
What part would have been different if she was a man? It would have just been more vicious.
Yeah, that's my point.
I took all the vicious and venom away because I didn't have any. Plus, I understood. I'm not trying to offend black women with short hair. I'm not trying to offend heavyset women. I'm not trying to upset fellow comedians. I'm not trying to do any of that, and I am qualified to be able to do none of that and still eviscerate you because I'm smart enough to know that I need to say that you have gnarled fingers because I know your limited education means you don't know what the word means. So you can't possibly respond to it. You're not sure of the meaning. And I'm going to continue hitting you because this is what comedians do.
Right.
You've been masquerading that you're a comedian too. And that's the fallacy.
His word choice is crazy.
I told you, bro. Katt is an educator. He says he read a lot of
whole
books.
bunch of books. Yeah, she's showing.
But no, when I brought that clip up, that reminds me when I be joking with my girl and whatnot, and she was like, "Why you ain't paying?" And I was like, "You want me to take this right from you after y'all marched for decades to get these rights? I can't believe this. I would never take the rights away from you, paying this fabulous meal and treating me."
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I just thought that was fun because I be doing that. But I be joking. I just be messing with her. But
Oh man, I know she be looking at you like, stop that shit.
you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, I wear the pants in the relationship. Well, she don't say that, but I'm just saying how
Yeah, I know what she was trying to say.
And then also it's like, no, I need you to take care of everything. Like, come on now.
I don't run into none of them. That's what I'm saying. If you a Faison Love fan, you mean you've been a fan of him for 32 years, you still waiting on him to do his first special? You mean to tell me if Steve Harvey your favorite comedian, you mean you've been waiting for him to do stand-up for 15 years now?
I mean, Steve got a lot of other.
DL's still out there. None of those irons matter to stand-up. Who cares that they wrote a placard for you to do Family Feud on? Like, you're successful because we're surprised you can talk for a living and it's entertaining that you're gonna say some funny country things. But not a writer.
Right.
Not a writer.
He just saying
you are
like,
reading. Though.
Yeah, he just,
I'm not.
But that's just what the show is, though.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I get it.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to call out like that. Steve is not that talented. He's not as talented as people think he is. Like he has a funny
I
accent.
never even heard anybody say Steve's my favorite comedian.
No one ever has.
I never really considered him a comedian. I consider him a talk show
I'm not gonna
host.
lie. I did not know he was a comedian when I was younger. Like I got older and I got obviously more into comedy. I'm like, oh, Steve used to be.
I said I didn't know that.
Yeah, but even back then, that's why he was so jealous of Bernie, bro. You weren't that funny.
Bernie was.
But I'm not mad at Steve. Hey, you do what you gotta do to make it, but it's getting kind of checked that you not that talented, my dude. And no wonder you had to steal jokes. Well, anyway.
Eve or Cedric or Ricky. Like, you're trying to create a character. You can't just be Faison in every movie. Like, you just gonna take your shirt off on every movie? Like, why does it say that in your script?
Man, let Big Worm live. Let him breathe, Katt. Let Big Worm breathe. Stall him out now.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man. But you gotta admit the role that he played Big Perm in Friday now. You gotta give him credit for the role now. Come on now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what you're saying is correct, why wasn't he in Next Friday or Friday After Next?
I mean, his role,
it wasn't good. Sorry.
There was a lot of people that appeared in the first one that weren't in the second one, Katt.
I'm just telling you why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a news flash that there are reasons for things in a business.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you bench D-Lo? He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. Nobody cares about that. That's not what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
Right.
Right. When you're good at something, you should progress. The guys that are not as good, they should fall down by the wayside. That's natural.
So you remember there was a third point I was saying that Shannon got uncomfortable? Yeah. When he called him out for that unnatural allegiance, he really he was still Shannon, but I saw him like, he was like, let me lay low.
Natural allegiance to lose.
No, that's quoted in 2024, bro, already, bro. Now, cause you have a natural allegiance to losers.
I do have an allegiance to you. Dang.
I'm gonna
keep saying it.
You do not got allegiance to me.
I'm
trying to throw me under the bus as much as you
I'm gonna
possibly
keep
can.
saying it.
If Mike Epps and Katt Williams, when he did Comic View, and to let him tell it, he was funnier than both. My name Lil Dow. You're talking about the special needs. That's good.
That's a different time.
That's some clever material.
That was a different time, Katt.
No, it wasn't. It was the time I was there.
But I'm saying
that time, this time, same times.
No, but I'm saying
just like people that tell you the Egyptians, they're not black. Egypt is in Africa, folks. Yeah. As long as Egypt is in Africa, then Egyptians are African.
Do you believe you could tell the same jokes today as when you started out? I mean, Eddie Murphy not telling those jokes. Richard Pryor wouldn't be able to tell those jokes in 2024 that they told in the 70s and the 80s.
So they wouldn't have told them.
But that's my point.
They're not inferior people.
No.
If they were in this time, they would be going according to our time. Just like then, we were going according to that. Like, that's how it is in the world. There are words that we can use for a while. And when we use them for a while until somebody says, that ain't a good word, we should stop saying that.
Correct.
That don't make people feel good. And we stop saying the word. And we move on to another word. You can't say the R word. You can certainly say special needs.
Yeah.
You can certainly say spectrum.
Be slow.
There are things that you can say to get your point that don't have to hurt people.
Right.
But you would know that if what you did was construct the English language for a living, then you would understand that part.
All right, so thoughts. I heard y'all was already making comments.
So I agree. The better you are at comedy, the more you can adapt. So if you're good back then you know these are the words I can use at this time.
Right.
2024, you're like, okay, these words are out. These words are out.
Right.
I'm gonna reconstruct my joke how it was back then, just using the times now.
But with the different verbiage.
Yeah.
But would it still do the same impact?
I feel like if you're good at what you do, you should be able to. You're gonna practice saying it, and be like, okay, this is how I want to word it, to where it's saying the same thing, just using different words.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I felt like I was agreeing when I first thought about it, like, yeah, comedy of the past. I'm sorry, that Eddie Murphy delirious stand-up comedy could not go for today, but that's one of the funniest jokes ever, bro. Eddie Murphy was one of the most talented people ever. But what I picked up from Katt is like, yo, if you truly that dude, you're truly talented, you will adjust to any era. Like if you in sports or whatever, you adjust to era.
That's what I was about to bring up.
And you will, choose certain words, but you're gonna get criticized regardless. In this cancel culture, you're gonna get canceled regardless. But we see Dave Chappelle still, you can't cancel Dave, and it's like as much as they want to try, he still got another comedy special out right now,
bro. He said something so egregious for no reason.
But I mean, it's Dave, bro.
He made a joke and it went so left at the end. Yeah. I was like, what?
But the point is, if you are that talented or you really are good at your craft, you know how to break down these words, story tell. That's the big thing with jokes. You can make it in this era.
You financed your first stand-up. You had it cost you $22,000. You had 25 to your name. Yep. Why did you decide to do that? You believe that much in Katt?
I believe that much in business. In business, the goal is for you to become independent and be the boss, take the responsibility, and also get the profit.
Okay.
That's all. How can I be looking for you to put me on if I wouldn't? And if I can't show you what you missed out on, why would you believe me? Now, the fact that I was able to do it 12 times.
That sip always kills me.
That's it, bro.
Nah, that's not even just, that's real life type situation right there.
That's just believing yourself, like having confidence.
Right. I told you, like, I was picking up, like, hidden gems. Like, obviously, he came in to go at Steve and but he also was giving hidden gems even by his life story. And basically, if you ain't going to invest in yourself, how can you ever trust somebody else to invest in you?
Yeah, that's true.
And that goes for everybody.
Yeah, that's just life in general.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can apply it to relationships. How can you expect someone else to want to be with you if you don't even
want to be with you? What, not
want?
How you don't want to be with yourself?
That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that. And remember, I told you the drug story from when I'm in the park.
Yeah.
So these are just the things. I had all of those when I came in. I already was ready for that. That's what they don't like. Amen.
So when he was homeless and whatnot, there's other homeless people. But so he's having a conversation with them at 13.
Marvel dropped him as soon as they're guilty.
He's having a conversation with other homeless people, and he's talking about how they're like former doctors, lawyers, and stuff. And it's like, yo, what happened to y'all? It's like, oh, we was on meth, we was on crack, we was on hard stuff, and it just ruined our lives. So yeah, at 13 years old, he was like, bro, that's the real like
real truth.
Not true, but what was that old Beyond Scared Straight?
Beyond Scared Straight.
Yeah, and he was like, yo, I don't need any type of reason not to do drugs. I ran into the real life situation at a young age, and that's why. And when I got to Hollywood, I didn't hit the same. But anyway, what were y'all thoughts on the Jonathan Major case?
So the fact that they charged him because of how he escaped was so like it looked like they were just trying to charge him with something. Like you're saying, I'm running away from someone. They're trying to like do this stuff, and I push them, and then try and run. And you're saying, oh, me pushing them was some type of assault. It's so dumb. Like that's the only thing he really got charged with. And then Marvel was like, oh, you got charged with something, you got found guilty?
I think Marvel was gonna.
I mean,
yeah, it looked like they were because like he got in trouble in his all this negativity, like, oh, we can't have that. Oh, any form of guilty, yep, you're gone.
But that just shows to say, like, as much as society has changed, even really as a black man, yo,
Stay where you're supposed to
the most
stay.
no-name person,
Can ruin everything you have.
white or black or whatever, can just ruin your career.
What he went through, Marvel dropped him as soon as the conviction came out, and you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all four. Guilty, 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 guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart.
the canceling. What do you think about this cancel culture? You see the situation with Jonathan Majors. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I don't know if maybe he can bounce back in a couple of years, but man, he was hot. He was hot. He was cooking. I mean, you see him in Creed. He's in the Marvel movies, and then just like that.
Maybe I'm a conspiracy theory, but I thought Katt Williams said any time they make you into that position, part of that contract is you do understand whenever we want to take you down, we can, right? Part of giving you the world. First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight telling any women that would listen that this was a good-looking Negro. Mm-hmm. Since when? When did y'all start liking a big nose? And when did y'all like a little head and a big jaw? When? Since when? That look like my daddy. When you start liking my daddy? You like black people's features like that? If this ugly nigga is good looking, then all niggas is good looking. Anytime you see them telling you something you can't believe, just understand it's a play. And it don't matter. You gonna know it's a play as soon as they get in that position and think they gonna tell somebody something. No, you're not. No, you're not. Marvel will cancel you you won't be allowed to read a comic book. What are you talking about? Get out of here! Get out of here, ugly boy.
So does that mean that Marvel is more like strict with stuff and DC is more lenient? Cause like think of the whole.
No, they're on the same team, bro. We're never gonna do that because we know what it is. If Elzamira was Jonathan Majors, they would have cut Elzamira. There would be no Flash. There would be no. Because I mean,
he knew exactly what I was talking about. I haven't got it.
No, because people keep bringing that up, and it's like,
bro, fast as hell.
Bro, we know
just
what
like
it is, bro. And that's what kind of gets me irritated with this, like Jonathan Majors case, bro.
They played in the shark, man. I'm like, serious.
He said, I'm hitting the Shannon Sharp, bro. But no, there was touring Jonathan Majors around because I remember he went. You know that flamingo, that adult flamingo outfit.
Yeah.
With Jonathan Majors, that was when he was on the front page of whatever magazine. What magazine was it? I don't remember. But he was just going on tour like, yo, this is a handsome dude. This one he just was about to shoot Creed.
Creed 3.
And John Majors came out of nowhere.
He did because was Ant-Man out already?
No, but it was coming up. It was coming up.
So he was okay.
Yeah,
because
he was only in 2 movies.
He's probably the other smaller.
No, I think it did because Ant-Man came out before Creed. Because remember when they showed a picture and they showed Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors and showed, oh, this is what y'all see, this is what Marvel people see, and it was showing Creed, Black Panther, it was showing Killmonger and so Ant-Man was already out.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Killmonger.
He's talking about
that's what
okay, yeah.
Maybe. Go ahead.
But was he in a TV show?
He probably was. Like he probably had some minor roles.
Wasn't he in the HBO show? Was that him?
I think so. I don't remember. But anyway, hey, I'm not gonna say what they do in Hollywood because I don't know what they do in Hollywood. But they always do say, hey, if you're an up and coming black person and if you got to a certain level, they got some dirt on you. They always say they send drugs at you, they send women after you. And they're gonna send just cases, just all types of cases that you and whatnot.
The Lovecraft Country on HBO.
Okay, I got you.
I know he was in something.
Like they're not gonna put you in that role.
Mm-hmm. I ain't watching that.
Yeah, they're not gonna put you in that role unless they know there's something they can do to get you out of that role. And we see how cancel culture is. That you don't even have to be telling the truth. You could just have an allegation and oh shoot, that's all we need. Yeah. Hey, if he's ugly, bro, you know. you good. You good. No.
Look at that man in his eye.
I told him good looking.
I'm messing, bro. You got the archetype right now, you know what I'm saying?
He said you good looking by default. You just took everything you needed.
Did it.
How do you avoid toxic women? Give me. I mean, because obviously, you know, you like women.
I do. And I probably like toxic ones more than anybody. That's because...
I asked you this.
No, hold on. Because toxic women are exciting. And that's just a fact. Part of toxicity
Go skydiving.
is exciting. I'd rather skydive with her. But if you have toxic women, just understand that all monsters are feeding off of something. And if you find out what this toxic woman is feeding off of, you can just begin to turn off her feeding points. And it drives a toxic person crazy and they'll get away from you. So whatever, if she's truly toxic, there are certain things that she's doing that help fuel her toxicity. You're not noticing it, but it's what it is. Why do you think she watches murder mysteries before she goes to sleep? Why is it always a crime drama playing? And turn it off. Turn it to cartoons. Make it... No, you don't get to... What's she listening to? You gotta be listening to Sexy Red. You broke. Toxic people are trying to get things. They're not being toxic for no reason. They're gaining something out of how they operate. That's why they operate like that, because they get something. As soon as you find that out, you'll be able to cut off what they're getting, and they will leave.
All right, so like Steve Harvey, that's how you give relationship advice, bro. Because I ain't gonna be lying, I talk to people all the time. They always, some people, you know, I'm close with. Some people I'm not close with. Like they come up to me and you hear stuff. Like you think women gossip, men gossip, but it's like
Sassy.
It's like you. Who says?
No, I'm just saying. Continue.
Oh yeah, they are sexy, but it's like you're giving them something, bruh. And it's like it be something simple. It's like, yo, every time she goes off on me, I have to take her out to get food. Why? If you let her do what she want. Like if you're showing every time,
going off every 2 days, then
right? If you're showing every time, you're gonna reward her for something, or you're gonna like cater her needs if she complains. Same thing with men. Same with whatever. True. But I can only talk about my aspect because I'm in relationships, bro. Nip that junk in the butt from the get go, bro. I don't have toxic issues. I am okay.
No, you hear his voice?
Chest.
Yeah.
Hart.
Yeah.
We gotta start doing podcasts like these?
Yeah. No. You ain't got time for that.
You go with the serious one, I'll be the joking one. I wanna see how serious you can be the whole time.
It's just it's real. Yako, you should be the main one discussing, bro. Since you wanna be funny.
I was trying to hold that in the whole time, bro. I was dick.
And Lee, I was trying to. Hey, I was ready. I was just gonna go about my business, bro.
I just wanted it to be the serious aspect. I was trying to spare you.
I was trying to, you know. I was like, let me go on my little tangent, and then okay.
I ain't even say nothing.
But no, that's just real advice, though. To be honest, man, every person needs to know that. And then, like you just said, they will either stop that and grow from their toxicity, or they will leave, which is a benefit either way.
Yeah, sure is a benefit.
Right. But anyway. This last clip is like my favorite clip, in my opinion. It's not even the most controversial clip. It's not even like a funny. It was just something that stuck out for me. So let's get into it.
Somewhere, and it ended up being Florida. So, but when did you know that you were leaving Dayton, Ohio, going to Florida?
In my father and I's last interaction, somebody could have not made it. And we both understood that was all bad.
What was the disagreement about?
If you say that my family is very religious, just say I'm not. So anything that I'm going to do is going to fall out of the guidelines.
Right.
But I'm not going to let you tell me what I'm going to be, especially if what you're saying is wrong. I can't condone wrong. And if I find out that something is wrong and I tell you it's wrong and you don't back me, That's what it was.
That's when you made the decision. After that conversation right there, you say, "Nah, I can't live under this roof."
It wasn't a conversation. It was an altercation. In the altercation, I love my father. My father loved me. But we are two men at it. It'll never be the same again. You can't sleep comfortably around me. And I can't sleep comfortably around you.
How similar are you to your father?
I don't know. He's a great man. I'm saying,
because it seems like y'all butted heads.
Right, but I'm saying that generally happens with a father-son dynamic. It was just that religious relationships are always difficult in families. They always are.
Before it got to the point, because the dynamic, he's father, you're son. Before that dynamic and you step up on his level and you challenge him, you felt it was best for you to leave.
No. I'm not being challenged. I'm being beat to death.
Oh, he was abusive.
I didn't say that. I said we were in an altercation.
I see what you did there. I saw what you did there, Katt.
Yeah.
I saw what you did. You was in an altercation. You didn't say you lost. You said you was in an altercation.
I in no way gave you the impression that I won anything. I'm the one leaving. I'm out of bounds. This is his house.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as I'm going to be under his roof, there are certain things that I'm going to have to do.
Right.
And the only way that's going to change is either this or that. And
all right. Before I go into why that stood out so much to me, any thoughts?
No, I want to hear what you guys say first.
All right, so the reason it stood out to me so much is because as black men, and as I'm hoping to be all of us black fathers, you know there comes a point in your life where it's like you think, like it might be at young age, you might be 12, 13, it might be, you think you can challenge your father or some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and some people don't test it out because like my father, I respect my father. Some people go a little bit further and it leads to altercation. It leads to what he says, you know, it can get physical just because, and I don't want to make it seem like it's because men are more aggressive, because that's always the narrative. Men are more aggressive. It's just a hint of physicalness that comes with being a man. Yeah, but why that clip stood up so much for me, because even Shannon did it. When you heard, hey, I got beat down, how easy could it have been to like, yo, my father was abusive? How many people do we see that do that, and just like that's the narrative that goes around? Oh, Katt was in an abusive household, and it's like no, it's just natural. Like, hey, I challenged my father, and two men, we duped it out, and obviously I was younger, and I could, and the narrative could have been my father wasn't shit.
Yeah,
and the whole time, yeah, he would still show respect to his father, even if he ain't. We don't know if they talked ever again. We don't know, but he still was like, no, my father was great. It was just that it came to a point where it's like, hey, when I'm under his rules, no matter what the rules are, it could be the most crazy rules, that's his house. I cannot be the man of a house I do not own. Sure. And I can either, adjust and live with this until I get my own place, or I gotta go. And whether the decision he made was right or wrong,
he paid it for himself.
He did what he did was in. That's why that stood out to me. It's like, yo, it's so easy with the narrative being the black man, like, yo, you're abusive, man, and yeah, that's why that stood out to me.
I think that's great to see, honestly, because it is so easy to be like, oh, it's an abusive relationship, or like this and that. But like, even like it just is what it is type of thing. Even like, it's just like become your own man. I think that's basically what he's just trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it is your father, you know what I'm saying, you still got to stand up for yourself. Right. Because, at the end of the day, if you don't stand up for yourself, when are you going to? Right. When are you going to, like, oh, I'm a man today, but tomorrow I'm not a man? Like, right. It doesn't really work like that in a way, so it's like. Right.
And that goes back to what you was asking me earlier about, if your parents, when you was talking about, it's like, my parents might not always be right, and if I start learning stuff, or like, my worldview is different, it's like, no. And then if that escalated to a like, an altercation, which thank God it hasn't, it's just like, yo, you never know what situation could have got in. Yeah. But I would still have loved my parents and whatnot, because of what they brought me up. He's this whole interview he was talking about how my parents they brought me up, and the only thing is like they was extremely religious, and he's still religious because he talk about God all the time, but he wasn't on that level. And they wanted him to become. He was educated. They wanted him to become a doctor, a scientist, or a lawyer, and he was like, I don't think that's the route for me. And that's nothing dramatic, damaging. Not saying that people who are in these situations are storing or whatnot, because everybody's situation is what is their situation. But he just handled it, and it was like I still respect and love my parents and his mom too, because he talked greatly about his mom. So it was just like
my house, my rules.
My house, my rules. That's all it is.
I mean, y'all touched on it basically.
That's it. Yep. But anyway, shout out Club Shay Shay. This was probably an interview of 2024 to me because it's been one of the best interviews I've seen.
It's only been 6 days in.
I don't think.
When it dropped? The third day?
Yeah, because it's one of the best interviews I've seen in a couple years.
No, that dropped January 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah.
But today's the 7th, right? It's 7th.
6.
Oh shit.
But yeah, go ahead and check out his page. Got more content like that. Great interviews, and if you look at them receipts, that's all I'm saying. Look at them receipts.
Yeah, them receipts are crazy though.
But we'll catch you next time. This video is running long. 4PO out.